we'll have some people up talking about what we're going to talk about, and then when we're done, we've got all of this interesting stuff to look at, and you can shoot, and you can spell burning it. You can Rudy will be available to answer questions about it. But basically, this is all equipment that was pulled out of the manhole down in Chinatown. So I think we're ready to go. With that, we'll get started. So this is a very unusual situation to have a outage in this duration outside of a storm situation. We know it's not okay. We want you to know that we're doing everything that we can to fix it. We know this has had an effect on all kinds of businesses, in particular in Chinatown. A lot of bars and restaurants and lay shops and a lot of small businesses that are really having this is having a big impact on them, and it's very disruptive. And that's why I hope everyone has seen our crews in Chinatown working since Monday night. They've been working around the clock. They want to get it done. They want to get the lights put back on. They know that that's what they owe to the community. That's what they owe to our customers. And they feel really important about that. They feel that that's really important. That's why they've been working so hard. So the next few minutes, we'll talk about what happened since Monday, what we're working on to fix it. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be down in the underground working in that equipment, and why that's especially challenging and a unique situation. And then we'll also talk about customer service. I know there's questions people might have around claims and filing claims, so we'll have be able to take some questions around that as well. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Rudy Tamayo, who is our Vice President of Energy Delivery. Rudy?
Sorry. Good afternoon, everybody. Again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to give an update of our current situation there in downtown. As Jim mentioned, I am VP of Energy Delivery, overseeing the work that's being performed the last 2 days, including the event we had last week. I just want to share with you where we're at, give a little bit of history, and really give you an understanding where we're at from in terms of the process of recovery. Yeah. First of all, this system was installed between 50s and 60s. The intent of this system is really to provide a reliable system for the financial community, where there's backup circuits being fed off of one of our substations in the area. The system is really a network of what we call manholes, and typically these manholes are 6 feet by 4 feet by 6 feet, where our cables connect through manhole to manholes and then ultimately serve customers from these manholes. And it's really a network throughout about the downtown area, hence we call it the network system, providing reliable service to the area. What I wanted to do is really kind of outline chronology a bit, what happened on Monday night. We suspect there was a fault in the manifold there on Bethel Street that propagated to a fire. In that manhole, we have multiple circuits. High voltage circuits that feeds that whole area. It's like the gateway to that downtown area. Unfortunately, we're still doing the forensics, figure out what initiated. We do know that it was some kind of electrical failure that propagated to a fire, and then subsequently causing collateral damage to equipment within that manhole. But you can imagine that this manhole is 4 by 6 feet, and there's There's gases from the arcing and so forth, causing an environment or explosion, a flash arc to occur. And anything within that area resulted in the damage we see. Immediately we responded and make sure that the circuits were de-energized so we can safely work with the first responders so we can safely extinguish, and then more importantly is to assess and figure out next steps to restore it. We started that Monday night, and that continued through the morning and early Tuesday morning. What we found out that majority, if not all, of the cables in that manhole was impacted by severe arcing as well as burning from the fire. With that said, it took time for us not just to secure the manhole. Most of our manhole have they're underground, so there's a process to create a safe environment for our crews to go in there. Right? So number one is a dewatering process to make sure it's clear liquid and debris, and then we create an area where we can lay down and actually have our crews to go in to inspect. Yeah. Upon inspecting, we found out there was a significant amount of damage in that manhole. So we proceeded with the cleanup, understanding what circuits needs to be prioritized to be restored. We focused on the primary circuits that feeds the major parts of the system. And then subsequent to that, we all of our plan was to follow up with the secondary that it would feed a majority of the Chinatown area. We were able to restore of the 3,000, 2,400 that day. And that was off of our, what we call 4-tree circuits. That was about 2,400 customers. And then we had the remaining 600 that we continue to work on. That includes completing our primary work as well as what we call secondary that feeds the smaller customers. Things were going well last night. Fortunately, we encountered a problem where we had one of the new splices failed, causing an odd, and we had to stand down. And when I say stand down is whenever there is potential hazards in these panels, we evacuate and we have our operation folks turn off the power. And then we can go back in and figure out what happened. Prior to this, we put all steps in place in terms of protocol, safety requirements to ensure if something does fail, that our work days are safe. And we did that like any other job, and that really was important because it really concentrated the fault for one area and keeping our people safe as we evacuated. So unfortunately, we caused another outage for those customers that we previously reported. We did redo the repairs, and we were able to restore them today. We're still working on the rest, and the hope is sometime we'll get that portion restored as well. I want to add, though, is working in this environment is very difficult. I've been in this industry for 40 years and been at the Hawaiian Electric 34 years. This kind of work is the most difficult work that our folks have to encounter. Our folks who work in these areas are very specialized, and you can see as we look at the equipment, it takes many years of experience for them to be able to do this kind of work. And for the last 24 hours, 2 days straight, we rotated our experts in restoring, and doing the necessary repair to restore service to our customers. I want to add too is, it's although we're focused at the manhole area, this extends out. And part of the process, we actually had to pull out hundreds of feet of cable because the ends are severely damaged and we had to pull new cables. That reel there represents what we had to pull out. That within itself is a challenge. But you can imagine the conduits where these cables reside being also burnt and damaged and trying to pull this cable out. We were able to do so on the primary side, and we were able to restore, as of now, all of our primary circuits, restoring power to those customers. So we're still faced with the 600, and we're hoping that we can get that resolved timely. We're still working on the details in terms of that restoration, but we can probably give you an update later on that. I'd like to add to, we continuously respond to problems and continuously upgrade our facilities. And we actually have plans to upgrade the system, our network system. We will be accelerating that. We're doing work in our major substation right now, and that feeds this whole area. Work continues to replace one of the major transformers as we speak, and we're hoping to get that installed in the next few months. And that will restore capability of the substation to serve that area. But we will continue to look for improvements so we can secure the system and continue to provide that reliable power to the folks in downtown and our customers. What I'd like to do though is, and we'll give an opportunity after to go through the materials if you have any questions, what this represents, and any other questions you may have. But I just want to say that, for us, safety of our employees is number one. And safety of our customers is also number one. So when we do this work, those two things are in mind. And remember, we have to interconnect our system with their property. And we want to make sure and ensure that they too are safe and we do the work properly with due diligence, as well as make sure that our plans are solid and really address any potential risks that might occur. Safety is number one. As you can imagine, and I'll introduce Kale Manakea, who's our safety manager, what that entails. But imagine when we had that flash last night, we had 4 linemen in this 4x6, 6 feet tall space, confined space, performing the work. And so we can only imagine how difficult this work is under those conditions. But I'm so proud of our folks, and they're so committed these last 2 nights and really wanting to restore power to the community. And they know that they rely on us. And every one of our folks out there in the field is really committed. And I'm reminded that whenever I do a follow-up with the team. With that, I would like to introduce Manakea Kale Manakea, who is our safety manager, who is a former mining supervisor and working in this group for many years. Kale.
Good afternoon, everybody. Kale Manakea, the safety manager for the island of Oahu for the last year. but previously I've been with the underground section for 15 years, and here at Ward Avenue as a lineman for 15 more years, so 30 years in the field. And I was going to ask to shed light on what the guys are going through in these holes that they're going into and stuff. Just, I mean, you can kind of smell what we got to deal with all this time. Like Rudy said, 4x6 hole is only this big at a 6 feet tall. So I remember working in that pool, and the whole night I would have to squat down like this so I wouldn't hit my head on the roof. So, I mean, I guess it was designed for people that were shorter than me. But that's the kind of stuff that the crews are dealing with. We're splicing, and to get the most efficiency, we're putting maybe 2 or 3 guys in that hole, and guys are up against the wall trying to splice in corners like this, just so we can get the most efficiency out of our guys. And like we've been mentioning, left and right, the men just want to get the power back. The lineman is like a fireman, just waiting to get out there and put the fire out. We're same way. We want to get the power back to everybody out there. Other conditions we deal with, it might be high tide now, so water starts to seep through the ground, and we're sloshing through water maybe about 2 or 3 inches. Some places around other areas, maybe a foot deep, that we put pumps in to keep water out. And we're all doing this, and they're still staying safe by using our gas monitors. We want to make sure that anything we do, there's no flammable fumes coming in that we can get out of the hole. Other things we got are we're pushing air in there to push the air out. We also got all our rescue equipment there in case anything happens, like last night when they kind of had a little flash, but it was all covered by protective equipment in the hole. I just want to say that I live on Baratania, Nuuanu, and my power keeps going off and on, almost late for work. But yeah, I'm a casualty of this fault too. So that's about all I wanted to share with everybody. Okay, so let me turn it over to Jim again. So thank you.
It's cool.
Thanks, and I'll bring up Brendan Bailey, who was our Vice President of Customer Service.
Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, so, over the past 4 days, our teams have been speaking with very many customers, and we understand the personal and financial pain that this outage is causing for our customers. And we just want everyone to know that we're working as hard as we can to fix the situation. We know they're struggling, having to close their business, loss of goods, loss of food product, that sort of thing. And what our customers really want, they've asked us for information. And I just want to share that we're pushing out information, as soon as we get it. Then I know that's probably not good enough for many, but we are trying our best to push that information out. So I'd encourage everybody to, monitor our social media. We are in direct contact with many of our customers. Just based on the sheer numbers, we can't directly call everyone, but we're trying our best. If you need to get a hold of us, our customer service representatives are always available. You can reach out to them, and we can handle whatever questions you might have. I did want to share that, we do have a claims process. So if a customer has any damages or loss that is related to the outage, they can submit a claim. That information is on our Hawaiian Electric website. All the information you need to submit a claim you can find there. Or you can call our customer service reps again, and they can help you, direct you to the information that you'll need from that out. I will tell you right up front, it's a process. We won't know right away whether or not claims can be paid, but it will definitely go through the process and look at each claim on a case-by-case basis, based on the facts of their individual circumstances, and that process will eventually run its course. But I did want to level set to make sure everybody knows that, those determinations will be made right away, especially given the fact that we're still investigating the cause of these outages, which, we need to determine that first before we can process those claims. And that's all I have. So I'll hand it back to Joe.
Okay, you guys, don't go too far. I'm sure we'll have some questions now. So let's start. Who wants to go first? Gina.
I know the smaller areas that are set up for Atlas Search with the small puzzle as downtown.
Rudy, I'll let you take that hit, but I think it's pretty unique.
Yes, this downtown network is unique to Hawaii and only on this island. And it was really initially built to serve a financial community, similar to on the main. They have that, obviously, they have much broader customer base regarding their financial districts. This is unique to Hawaiian Electric, the network. We have similar equipment, but the way it's configured is unique.
Hey, Ben.
The liquid waste process, finding is amazing. That is, what the claims he put in, will that be for inventory as loss run? Will you implement us that? And also, if there was any that carry claim wide first.
The claims, and I wanted to mention, so people have 30 days after the outage to put in a claim. So I know some folks are still out now, so they have 30 days. It's something they have to rush at. There's a form on the website, and it talks about electronic equipment and things like that. I would tell people that if you had a loss and you want to put in a claim, just fill it out the best you can, and we'll figure it out on our end. As Brendan said, we look at each one of these individually, not as a group. And so whatever people feel like that they suffer a loss as a result of the outage, just go ahead and put that in.
But crap, I basically was distant it's around and while I've been potential for this loss for people that them.
Sure, fill it out with I want to be clear. I'm not saying that that's all, those are all items that are then going to be approved for a claim. But, and certainly people should check their own business interruption insurance. A lot of businesses have that covers that sort of thing. So, but, I'm sure everyone is exploring all of their options. Yep,
The state can go or mad is it's a at least I got the ace something big does all the way to Potsdam and relatively now.
No, if a claim is approved, then that's just something that we would, pay out. It doesn't have anything to do with the bill. Yeah.
Oh, maybe Darren's got more. So
customers' bills are based upon the electricity that they use. So when a customer is experiencing an outage, they're not using any electricity, so they won't get billed for any electricity during the duration of the outage. And that applies in any outage situation.
When playing for also they pay where they're paying, you go wait if ultimately the ring theaters are just gonna pay that get great for money or just the playing beating's how phone products of it where
I'm gonna refer that.
Cool. It depends on what the situation is. For the most part, it's kind of a case by case. In some instances, it is paid out of ratepayer money.
The last time we acknowledged, the shut-out, we're glad that the workers of state, the lights went out, had to be turned up again at 10:30 and on. But they're very good informing listeners on the app, so forth, that are hitting the elective and trace hall, except they could buy the somebody that are not the city in the state. I try to get my education not paid.
Yes, we could have done better last night with information. But however, we were trying to figure, as Rudy talked about, it was kind of a fluid situation. We were trying to, first of all, figure out if anyone was hurt. We were trying to figure out if these guys could safely go back into the manhole. It took quite a long time for the manhole itself to be safe to the point they could go back in there and see what was going on. I think one of the things that we've been asked about is, and this is tough, people want to know when the power is going to go back on. And I know it was put out information saying, well, we think it's going to come back on at such and such a time. And then it gets delayed and it doesn't. So we're trying to be careful about, honestly, after 4 days, we were being very conservative about estimating when power might be restored because we don't want people to make plans based on, a best estimate at this point.
Does the system have an extensor pretty wait for a pinpoint good quality bar on my so the company space to the other top cabins in this alternate quickens?
Yes, like all of our system, we have what we call protected devices that we can hone in where the fault might have occurred and actually look at the process as the fault developed. We're looking at that data now. We have protected devices that traps that information. We'll be looking at that in terms of chronology as well as context.
So Stan mentioned this fine, but right in tech, is that probably it is some was still sense when this first installing is being water, or sure that they are making for like issues at systems.
All the equipment here in our underground facilities are designed as submersible. So yes, now any changes I don't know, but it was designed for submersible applications.
I'm again been reminded that I have not been repeating the questions as they've been asked, so everybody can hear them. So I'll try to do better.
Please can
The investigation of this all being if that's aided by any pouring could the arson or to place certain that this.
We're pretty certain that it was something within the system, and we're not suspecting any foul play at this point. Yes.
Is did for and things foul maze. Because I realized Jason has.
I don't want to stand here and tell people what they can put a claim in for and what they can't put it in for. I think they should fill out the form as best they can and submit it, and then someone can get back to them. I think probably, we really actually haven't had many claims so far, I think, because there are still people that are out, and so they've been waiting to see the duration of the event. So we give people 30 days to file the claim. I don't think anybody should be anticipating an immediate response on the claim.
And it's to targeting an area of the 600 that is not our own ideas. Putting on growth outside, installing portable generators on installed generators. As people will the people consider for the park steel. These are separated the activity. So the installed area that is.
Yes, the question is, would we consider bringing in generation equipment to help some of the small businesses down there? We've actually looked at that, and we've actually, we feel like by the time we get that done, that we will have the additional 600 restored. And so it's somewhat complicated to bring. It adds another degree of complexity and to bring a generator in and having it sit in the street. So the size that you would need to run some of the business, but we have looked at that, yes. I think we were all hoping earlier in the week that this was going to be a relatively short duration event. And so with each 12 hours that went by, we were hopeful that that was going to be it. And unfortunately, we're here on Thursday and it's still going on.
And getting is also the second use.
Yes. It is the second in 2 weeks. We're still looking at whether that original outage on June 13th was relating to the Nimbus week.
Let's say that this is such without the part of that happened. If you would do like these, fact that you get well more into could be the brain and they call reliability. Even if that.
Yes. Well, the question is, what can we do to provide more reliability to the downtown system on a short-term basis? And that's what Rudy was talking about. In addition to once we're done doing this work for the restoration here, the underground crews and others, our engineers, everybody in this building are looking at the entire downtown system and looking for opportunities to see if there's any equipment or any sort of situation that looks like it could lead to another outage. We're looking to see if we can adjust, make upgrades, repairs. And as Rudy also said, we're working on a long-term plan that's probably going to involve replacing a lot of the infrastructure downtown because, as he said, a lot of it is crammed into very small spaces. It's not how, if we were to design it today, how it would be designed.
Oh, hi. Updating our is a good mine kind of a big fact.
How often do they do that? The question is, how often do our crews go around and just check the system and check the manholes to see if there's anything out of place?
We do have an inspection program, underground inspection programs. Now, with that said, what we experienced here was not visible. Obviously, it was a failure of some device or component that we could not see with the naked eye. We do monitor with temperature instruments, and we do that to ensure the ones that we cannot see if there's any abnormalities of temperature differences that might indicate a potential problem with these devices.
Okay, if there are no other questions, I guess yes. No, that's okay.
Let's build it on a new study.
No, I don't have a count on exactly how much are we spending to fix this. No, we haven't calculated that, but I just want everybody to know that we are sparing no expense. We're putting everybody who is available on the job and putting all of our resources toward this. Yeah.
What it feels like a lot, not big client governments. What we can say on the wall, like areas, the city or to but also it doesn't. Frankly, that's the same line. How they
Right. The question is, what do we say to customers? There's an expectation we're going to keep the lights on. There have been a lot of incidents this year. What I would say is what I said at the beginning, which is we know this isn't okay. We know people are counting on us, and we know that we've let them down. And so we are working to make sure that our system is as reliable and resilient. We talked about our wildfire safety strategy a couple of weeks ago and our public safety power shutoff program. All of that is about keeping our community safe, and we've got to do that at the same time we're keeping all of our system reliable and resilient and able to withstand storms and other events like this. And we want people to know that we know they count on us, and we're out there, we're doing whatever we can to keep their trust.
Yes. It's this add the bit. But you are this and based.
You guys, what is the specific timeline for restoring the additional 600 and updated? What do you think, Rudy?
I've been hoping someone was going to come up and say, late breaking news.
We are really progressing well this afternoon. I'm hesitant because I haven't touched bases with the fields on progress, but we have great progress this morning. I don't know, and I can't really speculate at this time, but I do say that we had some good progress this morning to now. Some days, debate, and that. I think the hope is today sometime, within a time frame today. Yes.
He is looking skeptical.
This to be like we only should just so likely.
Yep.
She think of us setting textual lights, but on a plane, lots of behavior, into the ground, so long, so far, and see how it's equipped. Is there a precedent where people that, does the center up fitted for flossing?
Question is there any situation where Hawaiian Electric is paid for loss of business revenue or those kind of claims? I don't have any information or background on that. But again, I don't want to be listing the things that people can or can't we're in for. We know every situation is unique, and that's why we look at every situation, in a unique way. And the first thing we have to figure out, as we talked about before, is what was the cause of the outage, and then we'll look at every one of these claims as like, all right, well, here's the part where everybody can have some fun and look at some of the equipment. Rudy, can you walk them through that? Do you guys want to come up and take a look at that?
I would like to also acknowledge our union leader, Leroy Tincho, for 1260, who's been very supportive of our work and really supporting our members and our crews to really push hard on this. And so we thank you for your support, Leroy. So, fair warning, I do have towelettes to wash your hand. Try not to touch. I'm not saying you can't touch it, but if you really want to get your hands dirty, there's a lot of substance in it and soot and on these components. So,
I know what's in the boxes for sure.
So, the first box here are what we call the splices. And you can see there's multiple cables going into that trunk of splices. These two. This here, the third box is what we call our secondary cables, which was also damaged during the fire. And then there's additional splices on that first pallet. And you can see, how significant the damage is. And a lot of this almost instantaneously, because this flash and propagate is a super high heat, almost plasma, and really almost incinerate a lot of the components. We had some components that just crumbled in our hands. The next is really a pallet of additional splices and segments of the conductors. That reel there is what we had to pull from a manhole that was where the fault occurred to another manhole because the cable was so damaged within this manhole that there was no way we could repair it.
How much did it on that?
There's probably 200 feet or so, and a set of 3. Yeah, so there's over 1,000 feet of cable there, end to end.
Okay. Mile over.